Hey guys, thought I'd do a video on how I color my line art. If you want to see how I finish this line art, you can see it on a video on my channel. It's titled Scholarship ISIS Line Art Speed Draws. Of course, it's just a sped up. However, in this video I want to go over what I'm thinking when I am doing my coloring. I am still pretty new to color, so if you have any comments about my method, just leave them below. So hopefully I'll be uploading more videos like this with me, leaving a little bit of commentary, just share my thought process on what I'm thinking when I am coloring or what I'm thinking when I am drawing. So first, what I like to do is block in what I like to call the base color. It's a color that's most prominent in the shadow. Since I want to do an open, airy kind of painting, this will be a mainly cool neutral color. This is because the skybox is mainly a cooler color, so it reflects onto the local color in the shadow of, say, her jacket, which is shown more as a neutral navy than what we would see if it was in a darker room, which is a more darker, warmer blue. Similarly, you see her hair, which I wanted to be black or navy. I turned it more towards red as more of a stylistic choice, but it's still a really cool neutral. As you can see, the skin looks kind of funky, but trust me, when you add over the brighter colors, it's just going to make it pop. As you can see, I'm going to make a quick indecision here. I thought that blue was just too bright and that purple was just too purple, so I decided to go with maybe a darker, more solid blue than what I had. You can see I even made the jacket a little bit darker, see, just to play with the vibrancies and stuff. This is also where I start sculpting out the shadows and lights. I kind of want the light coming right from her left side, so it kind of causes a drop shadow. And this is how you really build the form. Kind of fake that 3D-ness, even though you're working on a 2D drawing. It really does add to the depth. As you can see, right when I add the more pinkish brights of the skin, it really makes it pop out. Even though we have that kind of chocolatey, velvety color as the skin. As you can see, I'm adding some highlights to the hair, or not rather highlights, but more lights to the hair, kind of blocking out the form still. I don't like to fall in love with anything that I'm painting. I'm not afraid to just totally destroy part of a drawing and just redo it, because my philosophy is that if I could draw it once, I could draw it twice. So you can see it's really starting to come along. Starting to zoom in here, get some more details in. Starting to erase some of the line art. I didn't erase all of the line art. I thought I'd keep it there, just as a stylistic choice. But definitely cleaning up the face brings more attention to the face, and what I did there was that was SGDQ. What I did there was add some neutral colors to where pupils are, but add this bright, radiant kind of teal color so that it pops and brings your eyes to where her eyes are. And again, just messing around, sculpting more, sculpting more. Adding some reflective light from the atmosphere. The reflective light this will be coming from the floor, which is out of the plane, but it reflects some of that white light back onto the hair, and that's what I'm doing there to kind of sculpt more of that 3D-ness. I also cut more of the hair off because I thought it was kind of making the left side of the drawing, or the right side of the drawing rather, too busy. Here I'm also adding a reflective light to the hair to kind of make it more 3D. And here I added some reflective light to the face. Do you see how that really turned her face into more flat, to something way more 3D, just with 3 tones, or 3 values rather: the light, the shadow, and the reflective light. Same, you can see what I've done there on the bulb on the back of her head. And you'll see that same 3 or 4 value pattern all over the drawing. That's all you really need, because your outlines really already encapsulate the outline of it, so you don't have to worry about a huge transition in value and color. More rather just blocking in the planes that you really want to show the viewer, and also using the planes on the shadow and reflected light to turn the figure, or turn the drawing. And here I'm just going to more detail, same again, adding more reflective light. Refining the hair a little bit more. You see, I erased the line art on the hair because I really wanted the hair to be pushed towards the back. If I kept the line art on it, all the detailed levels would kind of make the drawing flat, and that's what you don't really want. You kind of want the drawing to pop and add details where you want the viewers to kind of focus on. Here I'm adding a little bit saturated light towards the border of the shadow in the dark. I don't really know the scientific, or if there is any scientific basis on actual light and color about that, but I just think it looks awesome, and it really adds another dimension to your drawing or painting. Adding a little bit more details. A little more of that saturation between the lights and the darks. And you notice my highlights aren't white, they're actually a really bright yellow. That's because I wanted my light source to be a really warm yellow. I personally think with stylized drawings you can get away with doing that. I think it's just awesome getting really hot. In terms of, when I say hot, I mean really bright, warm reflections, or I guess the word here I'm looking for is speculars. It's a little bit different than what you typically see in real life when you see more wider specularities on humans or on objects. Here I'm adding more saturation, more brighter saturations in the light to kind of offset the desaturation on the darks. You really want your details to be in the light and not in the darks. And when I say that, I don't really mean that as a rule, because I don't think there should be any rules in art. Just do what you think looks good. To me, adding details in the lights and keeping shadows subdued is just a good way to go. Here you can see I'm trying to mess with the background, see if I can do any stylization or backgrounds and stuff. I don't think I really liked how this turned out. As you can see, I did something a little bit different. I thought this kind of was too matchy with her skin tone, so it really pushed the entire figure back. But you can see that I started doing some graphic design stuff. Here, some more like swirlies and stuff. I guess that's not really a technical term, but it really kind of wraps around the figure, showing that she's kind of not just a student, but something a little bit more special than that. But from here, I'm just, more designing, like graphic design, essentially. In the game, she's actually a dark and water type, so I thought I'd add a little bit of a dark and blue on the bottom to kind of represent that from the game. Add a little bit of glow here and there. See, I didn't really like it, so I just got rid of it. Don't feel like you're attached to something. Just get rid of it if you feel like it, Anyways, that's my process on how I get my coloring done. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks!